What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. And today, this thing is eating paper. All right, I don't know if this is good. Okay, good. Yeah, he realized that it ain't for him, but damn, you don't want to let it go. Well, welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. This is your boy Sev. Man, let that shit go. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down and talking about and giving out a prediction for the upcoming Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul boxing match on, I believe, August 28th at 190 pounds. Showtime pay-per-view. Now, when they announced this fight, I wasn't surprised at all, because as many of you guys know, before Jake Paul fought Ben Askren, when he was getting his hands wrapped in the locker room, Tyron Woodley was the one from Ben Askren's camp that came over to the locker room of Jake Paul to oversee the wrapping of the hands. And while that was happening, there was some words exchanged and whatnot. Jalon Love was desperately trying to get a fight with Tyron Woodley in a boxing match. And here we are a few months later, and what do you know? We got Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul on Showtime pay-per-view. Tyron Woodley is a former UFC fighter, former UFC champion at, I believe, 170 pounds. And he had an excellent run a few years back. He won the title, defended it a few times. And he is known to have great wrestling. He's extremely explosive, strong. And for MMA, he's also known to have decent hands, okay boxing, and that explosiveness is in his hands as well. He's had a few great knockouts in the UFC. However, I believe he's running a 3 or 4 fight losing streak in the UFC, and a bad one at that. Like, these are bad losses, knockout losses. I can guarantee you that his chin is not the same chin we had 4 years ago. It's just not. He's been knocked out way too many times since then for his chin to be the same. He's also at an extremely advanced age. He's 38 or 39. He's 39 years old, on his way to becoming 40 soon. So we have a fighter who in a different sport is coming off of 3 or 4 embarrassing losses. I mean, embarrassing. And his chin is not the same as it was at one point, and his confidence is certainly not the same as it was at one point. And who do we have at the opposite side of him? We got a young kid in his mid-20s who has been focusing on boxing for a few years, who's coming off of a great knockout victory. So his confidence is at an all-time high. And he's fresh. He has virtually no mileage on him. And for those of you who can't or have problems assessing Jake Paul and where he's at in the sport of boxing as far as his skills and ability is concerned, one thing is for sure. The kid could knock people out. The kid has power. He has power. I'm not saying it's all-time power or anything like that, but the kid has natural power. To what extent, we don't exactly know, but he does have power. This fight will be contested at Cruiserweight, which is another thing going against Tyron Woodley. Actually, to be honest, I don't think it will play a factor in this fight much. Because at the end of the day, Tyron Woodley, yes, he's been fighting at 170 pounds in UFC. However, he clearly walks around 200 pounds for sure. And I assume that Jake Paul walks around 200 pounds as well. They both probably walk around 205, 200, something like that. So, these UFC guys, they cut a lot of weight, more than the average boxer does. So this would probably be considered an appropriate weight class for Tyron Woodley as well when we're talking boxing. The guy's pretty big. So, on to the prediction. As funny as this may sound, I predict Jake Paul by knockout. And yes, is Tyron Woodley considered to have decent skills for boxing and MMA? Sure. But what stands out to me most about his boxing is his offensive ability. And when we talk about him being knocked out multiple times back to back, and him being 39, and him being relatively easy to hit, that's not a good recipe when we talk about facing Jake Paul, who is a young, explosive, accurate puncher. Jake Paul is naturally an accurate puncher. And we all know he's got some sort of power, and we know that Tyron Woodley's chin, or we could assume, that is not the same as it was a few years back. So I expect punches to land, and I expect us to see the effects of them when we see Jake Paul in that ring against Tyron Woodley. And once again, I'm going by Jake Paul. Knockout, baby. Well, there you have it, folks. This is your boy Sev Savage. Y'all have a wonderful day. Please remember to like and subscribe. Catch you guys later.